beautiful day, and are we happy we're back home in the nation's finest city and beautiful Petco Park. And we welcome you aboard the first of a 4-game series to open this long homestand as the Houston Astros in town against the San Diego Padres. And good evening, everyone, with Mark Grant, Dick Henberg. Does sound good to be back in San Diego, does it not? Padres with an excellent road trip. Could have been great. Came within a couple of feet. The ball hit by Logan Forsythe last night. It would have been a 5-1 trip. Now, can that build momentum toward winning some games here at Petco?
I think that if the hitters, we know the pitchers can pitch, but if the hitters stick to their strengths and try to square up a baseball like Logan Forsythe did last night, but it didn't go, I think the Padres should do okay on this homestand. This is a pretty crucial homestand, I think, for the Padres at this point in the season.
We're going to be able to watch in this series 2 men in the National League. There are hot hitting streaks.
Chase Headley, 11-game hitting streak, and why is Chase Headley on that streak? Chase is a guy first works the count. Every time he's up there, it's a full count, so it works to his advantage. He uses the whole field. Righty and lefty, seeing the ball well. Like to see the slugging percentage numbers go up a little bit, but 2 different types of hitters here. Hunter Pence, very aggressive. Doesn't work the count, doesn't walk a lot, but Chase Headley, he's the extreme. He likes to work that count.
There are the players in a hitting streak with Terrio on top, Pence, Headley, Morse, and Peralta. A word about Hunter Pence. We mentioned that he's probably the best ball player in the National League that so few people know anything about. He's 28 years old from Texas. All he is doing this year is the number 2 man in the National League in RBIs with 43. And get this, with runners in scoring position, second best in the league, a .433 batting average.
Yeah, he's definitely a threat, but also not only putting the ball in play with that streak, but a guy who can put the ball out of the ballpark if you make a mistake. Look for Hunter Pence, if he is swinging the bat well in this series, going to right center field. That's what his strength is right now during this streak.
All right, this homestand opens, and here's our starting pitching matchup tonight. Bud Norris, a right-hander. Don't be fooled by that record, 2-4. The last 13 innings he's pitched against the Padres, he's allowed 0 runs. And Tim Stauffer on his birthday. Can he back up his win in Washington, his first of the year, pitching well all season long? So we're set here at Petco Park. Houston Astros come in here having won 3 in a row in Chicago. Can the Padres make the span from the road to the home successfully and continue their winning ways? Beautiful night. It's cool, so again the ball probably won't carry well. And that's just fine with the starting pitcher Tim Stauffer, the 29-year-old from Saratoga Springs, New York, and the University of Richmond. Goes for 2 wins in a row. That fine 3.60 ERA, and on his birthday, maybe some hit and run support. He has the 3rd lowest run support in the major leagues, less than 2.5 runs per game of the Tim Stauffer starts.
Hopefully the Padres can give Tim Stauffer a nice early birthday present on the diamond. How about a crooked number in their bottom half of the first? But look for the slider for Tim Stauffer this evening. Both sides of the plate to righties and lefties alike.
Michael Bourne leads it off for Houston. The speedster, the center fielder, leads the league in stolen bases with 22. So you don't want to put him on. Make him hit his way there. And he leads the National League with 13 infield hits. Stauffer quickly in front, 2 strikes.
Yeah, have this guy hit the ball in the air, especially here.
That's not his pattern, however. He's also #1 in the National League in line drives. 28% of his at-bats produce line drives, not necessarily hits, but he likes to keep the ball at a line drive level or lower. Good lesson. You've got speed. That's your talent. Use it. Don't try to hit the ball in the air.
Yeah, trying to hit the top half of the baseball. That's great hand-eye coordination.
Native of Houston bounces that one up the middle. Bartlett will have to hurry. Doesn't get him. Yes, no room for error. So he just slaps a little soft ground ball. It's an out with most any other man running up the line, but not Bourne. That's his 14th infield hit. Here's the Houston lineup tonight. Bourne, and then former Colorado Rocky Clint Barmas. Hunter Spence, he's a star. Carlos Lee, the home run man, the veteran. Jeff Keppinger back from an operation just back a couple of weeks. Brett Wallace, the good-looking rookie first baseman. Chris Johnson at third. J.R. Tolles bats 8th, the catcher, and Bud Norris on the mound. Outside, ball 1 to Barmas. It was a pesky sort with Colorado when he played against the Padres. Had some of his best hitting games against San Diego. 32 years of age from Indiana State. Loops one back of second. Easy play for Forsythe. One away. And the Padres defense now. Brought to you by Big O Tires, the team you trust. Call 1-800-NEW TIRE. Headley and Bartlett on the left side. Forsythe and Hopp playing the right side of the infield with Ludwig, T. Cody, and Patterson in the outfield. Kyle Phillips behind the plate. Well, we can talk about every team with their injuries and key players on the DL, and some overlook the fact that San Diego is without 3 of the men that were in the starting lineup at the beginning of this season. Nick Hundley, Orlando Hudson, Cameron Maben. So you see the new names sprinkled in the starting lineup of Bud Black.
And those guys, with the way the Padres have been playing lately, picking the team up. Had a good week, had a great road trip.
Here's Hunter Pence hitting .317. Leads the team in hitting, home runs 8, RBIs 43. And as we said, second in the entire league, hitting with runners in scoring positions. A money player. And a real good outfielder with the plus arm. 87-mile-an-hour slider, 1-1. Thirteen-game hitting streak for Hunter Pence, hitting .436 in the last 13 games. Big man that since he came to the major leagues, up on the handle. Yep. Doesn't swing from down on the knob.
And I think a good way for Tim Stauffer to counter that is the pitch we just saw. A 2-seam fastball starts off the plate on the outside corner for a strike. That's a tough pitch for any hitter to square up.
Checks his swing and did not go. Curveball. Greg Gibson over there at first, waving it off. Jerry Davis is the plate umpire tonight. Todd Titchener and Sam Holbrook at second and third. Two-two pitch coming up. Bourne with a huge lead and without a slide made that a close play. Again, he leads the National League with 22 steals.
See if he was leaning a little bit. Oh, yeah. Oh, my goodness. It's all about timing. If Tim Stauffer were to throw over there as he made that last move towards second base, chances are he would either A, pick them off, or 2, got caught in a pickle.
Well, the Padres are the leaders in the National League most stolen bases. Houston has been the most successful stealing. And the count goes full to Pence.
You know, Pence will strike out his fair share as well. Last 3 years, striking out over 100 times. With those big numbers offensively come the strikeouts. But a lot of teams will take that. I take it.
Solid number 3 man in that starting lineup. There goes Bourne. Ground ball chopped to third. 2 hops to Headley. 2 away now as Hop just keeping that foot on the base on a high throw. 2 away and Bourne to second base. Brings up Carlos Lee, the Husky left fielder of the Astros. 335 career home runs, just 4 so far this year. Lee's now 34, from Panama, where he owns a large ranch, raises Brahmas. He and Jorge Cantu get together and talk about their cattle ranches.
Yeah.
Cantu raising Angus down in Mexico. Snaps a slider in there at 87.
Well, quite a contrast between Pence and Carlos Lee. Talked about the strikeouts for Pence. Not once has Carlos Lee struck out 100 times in his big league career.
That'll be foul. Stauffer ahead on the count, 2 strikes.
He's a guy who puts the ball in play, and when he puts the ball in play, he can hit one out of the ballpark, drive in runs. And one thing I'd like to see this homestand, the San Diego Padre pitchers, start putting guys away 0-2 or 1-2. What that does is quick innings, plus take you deeper into the game possibly.
Yeah, here's a case in point, and the ball bounces in the automatic 1-2. Bourne out at second base also leads the Astros in runs scored, 38. A ball, 2 strikes. Another bouncer. Slider, 2-2. Lee, when he was with the White Sox 7 years ago, speaking of hitting streaks, he compiled a 28-game streak. The 2-2 pitch coming up. 2 outs. And another foul.
You know, it's guys like Carlos Lee who can put those hitting streaks together, right? They don't strike out a lot. They put the ball in play. Therefore, you put the ball in play. You find a hole here and there. You break a bat. You get a little duck snort. Hey, you can't get on base. Here's another one you can write down. You can't get on base unless you strike when you strike out, unless it's a drop third strike.
We've seen those too.
Yeah.
Got him. Picked the outside corner. That's it for the Astros in the first inning. No runs, the infield hit by Bourne, no damage done. Padres come up in their half of the first with Patterson, Bartlett, and Headley Dew. Bud Norris for Houston. His profile brought to you by Bank of America, setting opportunity in motion here in San Diego to help our community and our economy. Norris has one of the better curveballs in the league. Terrific stuff, and the Padres will attest to that. Not able to score against Norris in the 13 innings in which they faced him. He's lost his last 3 decisions because of lack of support. His ERA in those 3 games, 3.00. Eric Patterson leads it off. Takes the fastball tailing away.
Well, Bud Norris is a 4-pitch pitcher. Fastball, slider, the curveball you mentioned, Dick, and a changeup. Mid-90s on that fastball.
He's compactly built.
Yes.
Just 6 feet tall, but 228 pounds.
The midsection, the thighs, that power pushing off that rubber.
2 balls and a strike. He went to Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, that beautiful school up north of Santa Barbara. Native Californian. He's 26. Fouled out of play. Patterson starts tonight at 182. Padres begin play on this June 2nd, 7 behind Arizona. Diamondbacks have won 16 of their last 19. Another foul. Houston, meanwhile, in the Central Division. St. Louis, the leaders there. They trail the Cardinals by 10.5. But they arrive here in San Diego in good spirits with that 3-game sweep of the Cubs, their first sweep of a series this year.
And they'll find out really quickly different environs than the friendly confines of Wrigley Field.
Patterson spoiling that one. The count remains 2-2.
Well, the Astros, they can hit. The pitching's been the question. 15th overall in the ERA category for the Astros.
Struck him out. And that's what he does. He is, in his major league career, strikes out more than 1 per inning, 9+ per game. Padres starting lineup for Bud Black, brought to you by Evans Tire and Service Centers, home of the free alignment. Bartlett follows Patterson, then Headley. Ludwig cleanup. Brad Hopp 5th. T. Cody in center field hit 6th. Kyle Phillips, a couple of home runs in his 2 starts in Atlanta. Logan Forsythe bats 8th, and then Stauffer. Bartlett loops that one over first. That's going to drop. No, what a play by Pence. That's what we're talking about. He can swing the bat and he can cover right field. He makes his presence known in every aspect of this game.
Well, we've seen him in Houston. We've seen him here at Petco Park. He's a guy that plays with a little bit of reckless abandon. He's going to dive whenever he can. He'll go into a wall with the best of them. And the first step off the bat, a great play, picking it up off the grass. If that bounces either out of his glove or in front of his glove, that's extra bases for sure.
When that left the bat, there appeared to be no chance that he could get there. He reacted immediately and on a full-fledged sprint, able to get there and take it right off the top of the grass. Great play. Here's Chase Headley with his 11-game hitting streak, his longest in his career. And Chase, talk about balance as a switch hitter. This year, left-handed 274, right-handed 273. One and one. Off speed with Ryan Ludwig on deck. Bottom of the first, bases empty, 2 gone. Misses again away, 3-1. The pitching problems with Houston, not necessarily their starters, it's been the bullpen. And that misses. The man who walks more than any Padre, Chase Headley, has his 30th of the season. Here's the Astros defense, brought to you by North County GMC, a Southern California tradition for over 20 years. Johnson, Chris Johnson, Clint Barmas, Jeff Keppinger and Brett Wallace on the infield. Carlos Lee, Michael Bourne, Hunter Pence in the outfield. J.R. Tolles behind the plate and Norris on the mound. Ludwig off an incredible May as you look at the skipper, Brad Mills, 54 years of age. Longtime bench coach for half a dozen years with the Red Sox under Terry Francona. He's got a couple of World Series rings to prove it. University of Arizona. He's also a part of some baseball strikeout history. Headley, when he sees the opening, he'll steal you a base. Norris and the Astros well aware of that. He has 6 this year. One strike to Ludwig. Good slider. Well, Norris jumps in front, 2 strikes. Last 19 games, Ryan hitting .373 with 4 home runs. On the other hand, he of the Padres has probably suffered most at home, hitting .194. Does have 4 home runs. That's the most of any Padre here at Petco. Wastes the fastball.
Yep, that's by design. That ball actually looked like Norris was throwing that ball uphill, up around the cap, the helmet of Ryan Ludwig. And logically, when you look at that last pitch, 0-2 to make it 1-2, you would think slider down and away. Let's see if Ryan Ludwig can make an adjustment here if that's the case.
Limited schedule on this Thursday. Giants in the West are playing at St. Louis and lead 5-3 in the 6th. Cardinals had a 3-0 lead. That one looped into foul territory and out of play. Headley, not knowing whether that ball might be fair, running all the way, returns across the diamond to first base.
And that was in fact a slider from Bud Norris, down and away.
2 years ago, he was the Pacific Coast League Player of the Year with a 2.63 ERA. Came up full time with Houston a season ago and was 9-10. 158 strikeouts in 153 innings. Fly ball to right. Pence has to charge hard again, and he's there. No runs and no hits. A man left for San Diego. That's 14 straight innings. Norris has shut out San Diego. Wallace and Johnson to face Tim Stauffer. Keppinger just 22 at bats since coming off the DL. He had surgery at the start of the year for a left foot injury, and just back in full form. 31-year-old former Georgia All-America. And he loops one over first, and fair ball into the right field corner. Hustling over to get it is Patterson to get it back in and hold Keppinger to a blue pit. Base hit single.
Well, it's hits like this that'll make you cringe as a pitcher. And just catches too much of the plate. All upper body from Keppinger. Good swing, shortening up on the backside. That's a good approach, though, if you're going to get plenty of pitches on the outside part of the plate as a right-handed hitter.
21-year-old or 24-year-old Brett Wallace, former Arizona State star. Man, look at that batting average at .316. Wallace has been particularly successful at home in Houston. His batting average at home .373. Three and 0. Stauffer, after giving up the bloop base hit, falls behind Wallace 3-0. Remember, in his last start in Washington, first inning, he walked 3 consecutive batters, but was able to get a double play and bail himself out. Boy,
where'd that miss?
Jerry Davis, tight strike zone. Yeah, maybe a little low.
Check out from the knees.
Yeah, it's
maybe
low.
A little low.
Good call.
It's still a strike.
So first and second, no one out. The Astros an opportunity here in the second inning. Chris Johnson, the third baseman. Caught the eyes of and the hearts of Houston fans last year. First full season with a .308 average, 11 home runs. Started slowly this year, his average creeping up, but still just .217. Infield looks for a double play ball.
He really stands on the plate.
And another ball hit the right center field. That's going to fall in front of T. Cody. Here comes Keppinger around third, and he'll score. And the Astros lead it 1-0. That had a funny sound too, didn't it?
Was mentioned when Johnson was up at the plate, really stands up closely to home plate. Sounded like that ball was off the end of the bat. It didn't have that clean, crisp sound. And it's a high slider. On contact, that's about thigh high, mid thigh high, and that spells danger. Yeah, kind of down towards the end of the bat, just a little bit. And if that ball's hit a little harder, possibly, it's a fly ball for T. Cody.
Well, Johnson with his 26th run batted in, so he's been productive, although the average not up there where he wants it. J.R. Tolles, just a 198 hitter. Fastball inside. Strike one. Pitcher Bud Norris on deck. A couple balls not hit that well. With a walk in between, and the Astros, with no one out, have a run and 2 men aboard.
You know, I think the problems for the Astros started in spring training when catcher Jason Castro had right knee surgery. That was the start of things. Humberto Quintero was a darn good catcher, but he finds himself on the DL right now. So J.R. Tolles catching for the Astros.
Fouled at the plate.
I mean, nothing against J.R. Tolles, but when you lose a guy like Castro who you plan on having big things, and then the veteran guy Quintero goes down, it's, hey, the catcher's role, we know how important that is.
Infield back. Hoping that Stauffer can induce a ground ball here. Help him out with a double play. Automatic 1-2. Wallace at second. Johnson off first. And once again, the opponents score first. And another foul.
You can really see what Tim's trying to do to J.R. Tolles. Bury that two-seam fastball on the inside part of the plate. He wants no part of this pitch. Two-seamer, tops it. You know, Trax said that was a strike, but I guarantee you that if taken, probably would have been called a ball because pitchers just don't get that pitch.
Got him. Second strikeout, slider. So by scoring first, Houston, that's been a trend the entire year. As you see that ball just off the plate. That Tolles offered. This is the 57th game of the season. And the opponents have scored first 40 times. 40 of the 57 times. When the Padres do score first, they're 13-4. Norris trying to bunt the runners up and hope that Bourne can come up with a 2-out base hit. Meeting with Dave Clark, the third base coach.
Yeah, the Dave Clark 5. Good band back in the day.
But this Dave Clark is with the Houston 9.
Nice. Yeah. And they'll be playing all weekend.
That's a good looking bunt. Headley across. Norris does his job. 5-4 on the putout. Wallace to third. Johnson to second. And here comes Bourne. An infield hit to open the game.
See, this is the perfect situation for a guy like Michael Bourne, and he proved it the first time up. Weakly hit ground ball to shortstop. Another weakly hit ground ball here with his speed, possibly scores a run.
Slaps that one foul. It's one of those line drives that he's been producing more than any National League player. And he has that advantage with the speed. He draws the corner infielders in tight. That opens up some holes. That's a strike. And the automatic in the dirt, 1-2. Bourne has 19 runs batted in. Wow. That was a strike a couple of pitches ago.
You know, like that pitch to the right-handed hitter trying to go down and weight the knees. This is inside to the left-handed hitter. Boy, that ball looks like it might have come back a little bit, maybe off just a tad.
2-2 the count.
Try to backdoor the slider there.
On deck, Clint Burmess. It's the big out for Tim Stauffer. Runs already in, 2 in scoring position. Got him. Breaking ball, curveball from Stauffer. He gets a couple of strikeouts here in the inning, 3 in the game. But the Astros strike first, a run on 2 hits and a walk, and they leave 2 in scoring position. $25,000 of you will take home that precious Padres Garden Gnome. Just waiting to be a part of your special collection. Get your tickets today and save $5 per ticket only at Padres.com.
It's a great item. It's a good quality item. And I've got a question for you after this pitch, Dick. Why is it that he always sits next to you? He wants no part of me. He's always migrating towards you. I don't know.
I took him out for dinner the other night. Brad Hopp, 1-1. Yeah, he did a good job, our gnome, on the road. You know, once he got through all the barbed wire, the security getting into Washington, D.C., he won 4 in a row and almost another one last night. Popped up down the left field line. And the third baseman Johnson over to collect it for the first out. So be with us. It's a 5:35 game as always on Saturday night, and the first 25,000 of you will take home a Garden Gnome. Oh, and by the way, Sunday, the starting time for the Sunday game, the finale of this 4-game series, is not the usual 1:05, but has been moved to 3:35 to accommodate the Rock and Roll San Diego Marathon. So
I'll be running in that marathon, by the way.
You're going to be rolling?
No.
A rocket. Blake T. Cody, and his first appearance in the starting lineup here at home.
I'm sure after last game he had a couple Tecates maybe in his locker after the game.
3 for 14 on the road. Single, double, and triple. Everything but a home run so far.
You know, Dick, the scouting report gets around quickly. We all know that with video these days and players watching other games in the clubhouse. It seems like pitchers, they know the scouting report on Cicotte, and they know how to pitch him. So it's up to him, Blake, to make an adjustment.
Good looking slider, but indeed Jerry Davis's strike zone is tight. 2-1. Cicotte and then Kyle Phillips.
I'd like to see Blake, the first at bat of this homestand, get on base some way, shape, or form, whether it's working the count for a walk, hitting a sharp single somewhere.
He and Logan Forsythe, both part of the 2008 Padre draft. That big day coming up on Monday. Struck him out. 94 on the heater. Second strikeout for Bud Norris. Brings up Kyle Phillips. Padres have picks number 10 and 25, and 5 of the first 58 in the Monday draft. Well, Kyle Phillips, a lot of pats on the back for this veteran who's battled away in the minor leagues for several years and finally back up to the big leagues. A couple of home runs, almost identical spots at Turner Field in Atlanta.
I just like Kyle's approach. He doesn't get cheated. If he gets a good fat pitch, he's going to be very aggressive with that pitch. Put a good swing on it.
2-0.
Hey, what does this tell you? The way that Norris is pitching to Kyle, first 2 pitches off speed pitches, and once again that goes back. I guarantee you, Bud Norris looked at Kyle Phillips at bats in Atlanta and said, you know what? He hit a hanging breaking ball and he hit a fastball out, and he's pulling the string the first 2 pitches here.
And he misses outside with a fastball. He wanted that one. 3-0. Logan Forsythe on deck. Lays the fastball in there. 94. I like the way this right-hander attacks.
Yeah, he's a bulldog. He comes right after you.
Ground ball to the right side. Keppinger over to Wallace. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Bud Norris. 1-0 Houston.
dance just the other night.
There'll be some Steins out there, some suds, and some food tasting on Friday night. Big party time. Top of the third, 1-0 Astros. It'll be Barmes, Pence, and Lee. Barmes popped to second his first time. Two and 0. Fastball not quite the velocity of the opposing pitcher Bud Norris, but solid 91, occasionally 92. Slider, 2-2.
I think Tim has a little bit more movement on his two-seamer than Bud Norris does. Bud Norris seems like he just grips that four-seam fastball and comes right after you. Tim tries to create a little movement on that heater.
Line drive, that's going to fall in left center. Ludwig cutting it off, and he'll get it back in. And Barmes has the fourth hit for the Astros. A leadoff single here in the third. And here is the information. Party at the Park, Sample downtown this Friday. Padres and Astros, the 7:05 game. But the first pour is at 4:30 out in the park. And we hope you'll get your tickets. Enjoy the sampling of San Diego's finest restaurants. Visit Padres.com/sample downtown for more details. Hunter Pence grounded to third, and then he grounds this one into center field. Up with it quickly, T. Cody gets it in. And the Astros in business again here in the third. Opening singles by Barmes and Pence.
You know, we featured Chase Headley and Hunter Pence in our open, and the differences between the two. Hunter Pence does not walk a lot, very aggressive early in the count. Tim Stauffer tried to throw him a little wrinkled in one, but it just catches too much of the plate. Hey, that could have been much different. A result. Give him the single there.
He now extends his streak to 14 straight games. Here's Carlos Lee. Took a third strike first time, and he hits this one deep to left center field. Very deep. T. Cody going back, and he'll have to play it. Well, it goes into the bullpen on one hop, and that'll save a run because Pence would have scored as well. He'll have to go back to third. Lee one hops it into the bullpen, and that's a break for the Padres. Ground rule double. Barmes scores from second, and Hunter Pence will have to go back to third.
Hanging breaking ball. First pitch hanger to Hunter Pence. First pitch hanging curveball to Carlos Lee. That's the difference in those two. And as you mentioned, Dick, that's a break. Still nobody out for the Astros.
And Keppinger, who blooped a base hit to right field his first time, fouls that one back.
Catcher's interference.
Apparently,
Kyle
Phillips got his glove in the way there, and that'll be an error on him. And taking first Keppinger to load the bases.
Well, let's see if we can catch it here. Does he reach out too far for the pitch? Yeah, it looks like you could see the top half of the glove kind of fold a little bit. It happened so quickly.
So Brett Wallace comes up with the bases full, a run in, no one out. Wallace walked his first time, hitting .316. Phillips going to go out and talk with Stauffer. They couldn't come to an agreement on the signs with Lee looking in from second base. Let's go back and listen to that last play.
Did you hear a couple clicks there?
I didn't, but Keppinger immediately appealed. Ball one. And it's going to take some pitching now by Stauffer to work his way out of this jam with a run in, bases loaded, no one out. 2-0 Houston here in the third. Ground ball right side. Forsythe will get an out, but a run scores. Pence comes in to make it 3-0. And on to third, Lee on the ground ball RBI. Brett Wallace, his 18th run batted in. One away. Chris Johnson, the batter. He singled to right center his first time and knocked in the first run. Going to walk him intentionally. Second walk from Stauffer. Load the bases and take their chances on J.R. Tolles, who struck out his first time.
Oh, you really hate playing catch up, huh?
Yeah, the Padres just haven't done that very well.
And it just goes to show you what happens when you, as we get action possibly in the Padre bullpen, to hang a couple of pitches, and that's the difference. Hunter Pence, single. El Caballo, Carlos Lee, a double.
They're 11-28 when opponents score first. They're in balls. He goes out to chat here and give Pat Neshek some extra time to warm up. Getting himself a full chew of gum. Part of his routine. Pitched last night in Atlanta and did give up the home run to Martin Prado, which proved to be the winning run in the 4-3 Braves victory. Bases full of Astros, and that's where Stauffer worked Tolles the first time up, inside, 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 and then got him to chase the slider away.
So if that's the case, heads up Chase Headley at third base. If he gets in that kitchen and he tops it, chances are Chase Headley's going to get a little grounder his way.
Strike two. Pitcher Bud Norris next.
A lot of pitches early for Timmy. 59 coming up.
Looks uncertain out there, doesn't it?
Not on the same page, and that's a good point. You want to establish a rhythm. Doesn't seem to have the good rhythm going right now.
Ground ball to short, but it's weak. And they won't get him there. Another run scores as the ball runs up Bartlett's arm. Just a soft little ground ball. And Bartlett unable to field it cleanly, and a couple of errors here in this third inning helping the Astros. Bases remain loaded. Lee scores. So a couple of errors. Catcher Phillips on the interference, and now Bartlett at short.
This ball comes up. That hit the lip of the grass. I'm not making excuses. I'm just telling everybody a fact. That ball hit the lip, came up on him right there. See that? Tough error, but hey, that's the way it works out.
They weren't going to get the double play anyway. The ball just was hit much too softly, and it was too late to try to come to the plate because Bartlett was playing back. Credit Toles with his 7th RBI, and he's safe on the air.
I think that if that's a clean hop, he gets Toles at first base.
Yes, no question. So an ugly inning continues, and now Bud Norris, who sacrificed his first time, the pitcher. 1 ball, 1 strike. Keppinger now at third, Johnson at second, and Toles at first. Three straight base hits to start the inning, and a walk and a couple of errors to make it complete. That's a made-to-order double play. Bartlett to Forsythe, he throws it away. Oh my, and into the crowd it goes, and a couple of more runs score. 3 errors in the inning and a perfect double play ball, and Forsythe airmails it way over the head of Hop. And the Astros take full advantage.
And this is getting ugly. Good feed by Bartlett. Logan, who has proven in the past that he has no problem on the turn at second base. He just gets underneath that one and airmails it. Boy, tough for Tim Stauffer, tough for the Padres. My goodness.
5-run inning. That should have ended the inning 4-0, but 2 more runs, and winding up at second base is the pitcher Norris. Gets an RBI too.
You know, there are times when you get a feeling when a ground ball is hit certain areas, this particular spot, the shortstop, and Logan Forsythe has proven that the games that he has played at second base, good turn on the double play. I don't know whether he was trying to avoid the runner, hitting the runner, but worked seriously underneath that one. No chance for Brad Hop.
Well, when you commit 3 errors in a game, it's going to hurt you. When you commit 3 in an inning, it's going to make it very difficult. Now they're even booing a fan that couldn't field the ground ball foul. He tried hard. He even sacrificed his suds. That symbolizes the inning, doesn't it?
I don't know what's more valuable, the beer or the ball.
And that one gets away from catcher Phillips. Over to third goes Norris.
I think it hit the runner, or hit the hitter.
Okay, Bourne, it hit his foot. So back to second, Norris on the hit batsman.
Breaky ball down and in, and it looks like it hits the front foot. We'll take a look here.
Right on the toes.
Yep.
So Norris has to go back to second. Bourne safe at first. They've hit around, and now Barmas, who started it all with a single in left field, bats as the 10th man to face Stauffer. So this has been hardly a happy birthday night for Tim Stauffer. Five runs on 3 hits and 3 errors. In the dirt, blocked by Phillips.
Wow, 70 pitches for Tim. And we know that Neshek was up in the bullpen trying to finish this inning here. Pitcher spot due up second for the Padres in their half of the inning.
Yeah, Bud Black would like Stauffer to get this final out. Man, there's another line drive. Ludwig charging hard and makes the catch. Saving further damage. Good play by Ludwig and left. But the Astros send 10 men to the plate. Only 3 hits. Produce 5 runs. 3 errors. It's 6-0. As we remind you, Padres baseball is brought to you by Permadontics, Southern California's premier dental implant center. By Hughes Marino, because where you do business matters. And by Cox High-Speed Internet, to power all your devices with the fastest internet in San Diego.
That shot is directly from Jane Mitchell's backyard, beachfront property on the island of Coronado.
It's a beauty. So Bud Norris staked to a handsome 6-0 advantage as the Padres come to bat in the last of the 3rd inning. And it's an uphill climb again for San Diego.
Got a lot of catching up to do. You know, there are numbers, and I hate to throw out numbers. I like to stay away from the numbers and just talk about what's going on in the field. But for Bud Norris, this year in 4 starts on the road, 0-3 with a 6.55 ERA, opponents hitting .330. But in contrast to that, we all know that we've been talking about the numbers at home here for the Padres. So,
well, and the fact that Norris has had the Padres number. He's gone 15 innings now without giving up a run to San Diego. Forsythe, 4 for 26. Norris now pitch with all that comfort of a good lead, just to rear back and give them your best stuff. Padres have to peck away, perhaps a run at a time. Hope that they can get into the bullpen late.
Yeah, the bullpen for the Astros, 15th in the National League with a 4.53 ERA.
Only one of the 5 runs scored in the top half of the inning unearned. 4 were earned. That'll take a bite out of Stauffer's ERA on the season. He gets only 3 innings in, allows 5 runs. 3-1. So we'll see how patient Forsythe can be here. At this stage, walk's not a bad outcome. Sends that one way upstairs.
It just occurred to me. How many catcher's interferences and like drop thirds strikes we've had? And I'm not getting on catchers. I mean, it's just a fact. You know, it's something that's been more prevalent this year than in the past.
Another foul. Well, I mean, it's reflective also of the fact that the Padres are without their number one receiver.
Right.
I mean, Nick Hundley, that's why he's number one, because he not only is a better hitter, but better behind the plate.
And also, you know, drop third strike doesn't necessarily mean that it's all on the catcher. It could be a breaking ball in the dirt that a guy swings and misses, and the ball goes up the, you know, the catcher's shoulder back to the screen, or it bounces it, you know, off a knee guard, and then it goes over towards the on deck circle. So it's just not all on the catchers. It's just a number that seems to be a little bit more present this year.
Good at bat for Forsythe, fouled off several, and now he pops it up. Shallow in center, Bourne coming in. One away. Padres yet to pick up their first base hit. Stauffer will bat. And this is a matter of just saving the bullpen. And it's his turn in the rotation. He has thrown a lot of pitches, but Black hoping he can give him a couple of more innings, maybe settle the ship here in the fourth inning. Tim has a couple of hits, 19 at bats.
You know, I like when you look at this, you know, Tim hitting right now and the pitch count that he's got, he's good for about 100, 110 pitches. And with the lead of the Astros, you leave your starter out there, hopefully finds a groove, and gets a knock.
How about that? Pence can't get that one. And the first hit of the night by the pitcher, Tim Stauffer.
Happy birthday, Timmy. Sometimes the ball will find your bat. Hey, if he hits it, it's a double. Well, he'll take a single right here.
Well, hoping that this might amount to a run or two in this inning to take a bite out of that big 6-0 Houston lead. We go to the top of the order. Eric Patterson struck out his first time.
That's some good 0-2 hitting by Tim Stauffer. An 0-2 hit.
Patterson and then Jason Bartlett here in the Padre third. And Norris is about to throw his 45th pitch. Outside. Really a nice program tonight here at Petco Park, and involves our best customers, our season ticket holders, and many of them in the prime seats, the most expensive seats, the box seats around home plate, donating their seats on this night as a military appreciation. So by count, 974 tickets available to the military tonight, donated by those season ticket holders, saying thank you to the military.
What a great gesture that is.
They're down there in those prime seats having a good time tonight and hoping the Padres can rally.
And I'll tell you what, when you watch a big league ball game from those seats, it really makes you appreciate.
Oh, that would be a blistering souvenir. Unfortunately, I think that hit an empty seat down the right field line. 1-2 on Eric Patterson. One out here in the third. Stauffer, the pitcher, with a base hit at first. High fly ball, left center field. Bourne has a beat on it. 2 away. And that'll bring up Jason Bartlett, who was robbed of a hit by Hunter Pence, who raced over and in and made a skidding one-handed catch, diving to the grass to deny him back in the first inning.
You know, I think one of the things that the Padres might try to, not try to, but, you know, any ball hit the left field could be an adventure with Carlos Lee out there.
In the dirt. The slider misses. And here, his first time up, when it left the bat, looked like a sure hit, but boy, Pence, he just plays 110%. Everything he does, aggressive, all out. He's old school. Just low. So 2-0 to Bartlett. Trying to get down there for Chase Headley. Ryan Ludwig in the hole. 3-0. It's the first of 11 games on this homestand, the longest of the season. Houston 4, Colorado 3. Then Washington, the Nationals in next weekend for 4. 3 balls and a strike.
Yeah, and you would hope that the Padres can make some hay against those teams, because Houston, of course, they were coming off a sweep of the Cubs. But Washington, last place team, 9.5 out in the East. Rockies have come back down to earth.
3-1 pitch foul down the right field side. Ball cascading all the way to the middle aisle. Yeah, you got to be patient. Sometimes the ball will come to you.
And that's how you impress the ladies. You're getting a foul ball.
Yeah, right away gave it to his lady fair.
How you doing?
3-2. Runner goes, and it's just off the plate.
He's not giving that call, is he, Dick?
He is not.
He is true to his zone, Jerry Davis.
So a 2-out walk to Bartlett. And that sets the table with 2 outs here in the third. One swing, and you cut the lead in half. Headley trying to extend his 11-game hitting streak. He walked the first time up. Stauffer with a base hit at second base. The walk to Bartlett at first. There's a strike. He has hit that 94 mile an hour mark on almost every fastball. Not much variation. Ryan Ludwig hopes he gets a chance on deck.
Padres need to have one of those 94s, 95s. That's a straight fastball. Remember, like last night, Logan Forsythe, he squared a straight fastball up out of the hand of Kimbrel. You know, it doesn't have a lot of movement. So in the right spot, and hopefully split a gap and send those runners running.
Right fielder Hunter Pence plays remarkably shallow for our left-handed hitter, with Bourne deep over in left center. So there's a big hole there in right center field. Line drive, base hit, headed toward the corner. Pence will cut it off. Scoring is Stauffer. On to third is Bartlett on a long single by Headley. It's 6-1. So Stauffer's base hit does become a run.
Chase Headley gets a pitch. It's a breaking ball. Speeds up his bat, and thank you very much. A breaking ball down and in. I'm really kind of surprised that Bud Norris, you know, with the 6-0 lead, he tries to throw a little breaking ball in there and misses with location, and Chase Headley makes him pay.
And Chase Headley boosts that hitting streak to 12 straight games. Here's Ludwig, fly to right his first time. He hits one into right field. That's dying in a hurry, and Pence can't get there. In to score is Bartlett. It's 6-2, Houston. Ludwig with his 36th RBI of the year as he dumps one into shallow right center.
This could be the Chippewa inning as the Padres chip away at that 6-0 lead.
Well, hail to the Chippewas then. Central Michigan to be proud of your commentary.
Absolutely.
Well, there's an example in today's action in New York. Pittsburgh had a 7-0 lead in the third inning, and the Mets went on to win 9-8. Maybe we can repeat that on the West Coast. Brad Hupp has the home run power. 2 runs in, 2 on, 2 out.
Hey, notice the 2 hits that the Padres just got. What were they off of? Breaking balls from Bud Norris. Chase Headley, breaking ball. Ryan Ludwig, breaking ball. Bud Norris has got to spot the fastball if he wants to get by these Padres in this inning. So keep flipping that up there.
Headley at second, Ludwig at first, each with an RBI. 6-2 now, Houston. He wound up and he was trying to crank that one into the right field seats. 94 again on the fastball. We have the 2 runs taking the sting out of that 5-run Houston half of this third inning. And Hop with a chance to make it really exciting. Second baseman Keppinger playing out in shallow right field.
Well, if you can cut the lead in half here, as you mentioned earlier, Dick, that'd be huge. Huge.
Yeah, it's a weak swing there as he was fooled by the changeup. 86 on the changeup.
Yeah, so when you throw the fastball at 94, 95, the changeup at 84. You know, I've always, I've talked with pitchers, pitching coaches, anywhere, 10 maybe to 13 miles an hour difference on the changeup to your fastball.
So Norris in front, 2 strikes. Struck him out. But the Padres get a couple on 3 hits. Ignited by the 1-out single by the pitcher, Tim Stauffer. And we go to the 4th, 6-2, Houston. Brought to you by AT&T Wireless. Here's our question. Who has hit into the most triple plays in Major League history? 4 times this Hall of Famer hit into a triple play. We'll give you the answer bottom half of the inning.
Well, that's a brain teaser right there. I've got a couple of nuggets to elaborate on that. Either the guy's got to be a slow runner or he's a guy who hits the ball extremely hard.
They're making a scoring change now on the number of runs that were unearned. We'll pass that along to you, those of you who'd like to keep score. Hunter Pence leading off here in the 4th. And the count goes 1-1.
Tim needs a quick inning here.
I'm going to say that of the five runs scored in the third, only 2 earned, 3 unearned.
Good power curveball by Tim Stauffer there to work ahead 1-2.
Pence grounded to third and singled to center in the third inning. Now full count. Chopped by the mound. Bartlett just does get him as Ed Pence hustles up the line. 1 out to Carlos Lee. Lee with the big blow in the third inning. They had long double to left center field, and only because it skipped into the bullpen of the Padres, a ground rule double cost him another RBI.
Carlos Lee wants to check that baseball. He wants that ball out of the game, possibly scuffed. See a lot of hitters do that.
Tougher to pitch these days. You don't get that scuffed up ball.
Exactly. I think pitchers should be allowed to scuff. I mean, the strike zone is small as it is already. I mean, my goodness.
Out of play.
Be able to load up, scuff. And you know what makes it more interesting? Hitters can use cork bats. Go ahead. I'll take a hitter with a cork bat and be able to scuff the ball. I'll take my chances any day of the week.
The automatic 1-2.
What do you think about that, Professor?
Well, you know, then the next thing you know, you're going to have pine tar all over the infield and fouled out of the play. Yeah, you have to have some restrictions, but I would rather baseball look at the strike zone. It's the bottom of the letters, and they don't give you a strike there. That should be a strike.
I totally agree with you.
2-2. I mean, right now you look at Lee. If that ball is under the numbers, 45, not the Houston,
right,
they'll call that a ball.
Yep.
He bounces another 3-2. So Tim not able to really get that slider close enough to the strike zone to induce a swing.
And there's the pitch count. We talked about it earlier. Getting up there. Tim's good for about 110.
Outside corner, same pitch that struck him out in the first inning, and Lee can't believe it. Third strikeout for Stauffer.
Well, we mentioned that Jerry Davis has been true to his strike zone. And according to tracks, that is off the plate just a little bit. It's definitely high enough.
I didn't. I thought that was ball 4 as it landed in the glove of Phillips because he hasn't been giving the pitch farther in.
You're absolutely right.
But I think the fact that Lee reacted negatively to being called out on strikes in the first inning on almost the same pitch out there, that was remembered by Davis. Ground ball. Headley cuts it off in front of Bartlett and throws him out. So Keppinger out 5-3, and Stauffer bounces back and retires the Astros in order in the 4th inning. We go to the bottom of the 4th. The Padres need 4 to tie. trivia answer. Our question was, what Hall of Famer hit into the most triple plays in his major league history? Little piece of trivia. The answer is Brooks Robinson, a man with a Gold Glove at third base. He won 16 of them. But Robinson, who was not a speedy runner, wrapped into a major league record 4 triple plays. But what a player Robinson was for the Baltimore Orioles. 16 times Gold Glover.
I loved the helmet that he wore, the short bill on the helmet. Love that. Why? I don't know, but it was just a cool look back in the day.
He didn't like the long brim. He said it bothered his vision, especially as a hard helmet, because those guys, Brooks Robinson, grew up without the helmet. They grew up with just a ball cap. So when the helmet was introduced, he just wanted that little cut-off brim. There it is.
Oh, that is such a cool looking helmet.
An Oriole with a short beak. What a nice man, too. Hall of Famer in a lot of ways. Blake T. Cody struck out his first time, with Phillips and Forsythe to follow. So 3 men here in the 4th inning, all were in the minor league system of the Padres at the start of this season, and filling the voids of the injured Padres on the IR. Two and one. He is tight. That ball didn't miss by much. 3-1.
Tell you, that was a strike to Carlos Lee.
The pitch to Lee was farther out. So 3-1 to T. Cody. High fly ball, right field, routine. And Pence gloves it for the first out. You know, just to add to the Brooks Robinson, the 4 triple plays, but associated with that trivia is the fact that for a non-pitcher, 16 Gold Gloves is the best ever. Jim Cott, Kitty Cat Cott, he had 16 as a pitcher. The left-handed pitcher was a terrific fielder. But the record for most Gold Gloves, the biggest mantle in baseball to get all those Gold Gloves up there, 18 of them belongs to
Greg Maddux.
You got it.
Yep.
1 out to Kyle Phillips. He grounded to second his first time.
Probably one of the coolest trophies around, the Gold Glove.
Yes, I mean, the silver bat's nice, but that full-size glove in gold. Phillips hits it to center. A couple of high fly ball outs to open the 4th inning by T. Cody and Phillips. That brings up Logan Forsythe. Oh, did you see where next time we see Henry Aaron, we're going to have to call him Dr. Aaron?
Really?
Yes. It was announced that he will receive an honorary doctorate by Princeton University.
Very nice.
Ivy League doctor. Isn't that a nice touch for how he represented himself going through the struggles of passing Babe Ruth? Not only is a great player, but you know, a lot of folks around baseball didn't want him to pass Ruth.
Right.
And
I really admire that man. I got a chance to meet him in Atlanta when I was traded to the Braves. Wow, what a treat that was.
Dr. Aaron. 1-1 to Forsythe. He flied to center his first time. Lots of fly ball outs from Norris. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we're only 2 outs into the 4th inning. Out in front of a slider. 1-2. Giants have beaten the Cardinals 12-7. That almost took the lettering right off the front of his uniform. Skipped the P right out of there.
He'll do that to right-handers. Went ahead, evens the count at 2-2, but one of the weapons with the fastball coming up and in for Bud Norris.
3-2.
Boy, I can't tell you how important it was for Tim Stauffer to throw that 0 in the top of the 4th to keep those Astros at 6.
Stauffer on deck will apparently hit for himself should Forsythe reach. Struck him out. Slider just off the plate, and that's 4 strikeouts for Bud Norris. We've completed 4 at Petco Park, and it's a 6-2 Astro lead.
Mid-game recap brought to you by Murray Lambert Construction. Home remodeling with no upfront design fees. Visit murraylambert.com and click on Request a Quote to schedule an in-home consultation. Mr. Enberg.
All right, Mr. Grant. And here's Brett Wallace to lead off the 5th inning for Houston. He's walked and grounded out, knocked in a run with a ground out in the 5-run 3rd inning. Again, 3 of those runs unearned as the Padres guilty of 3 errors. One and 2. Again, head on the count and dumps one in the dirt.
Yeah, you know, Tim doesn't have the good feel tonight. He's got the good slider working at times, but the curveball seems to be a pitch that kind of struggling with. The majority of the curveballs tonight thrown by Tim have been in the dirt, but by design.
That ball hit well to left field. Ludwig giving ground to the warning path and makes the catch. One out. Wallace retired on a deep out, and here's Chris Johnson. Johnson, an RBI single in the 2nd. That was the first run of the game as he brought home Jeff Keppinger, who had singled. Moved up on a walk, and he was an intentional walk in the 3rd and came around to score. Score on the overthrow by Logan Forsythe on a double play ball, and he hits this one well. Is there room for this one? Ludwig goes back, and that ball is gone. Johnson clubs his 6th home run of the year, and the Astros lead it 7-2. Well, Wallace going the opposite way, didn't miss by much, and Johnson finds the left field bleachers.
A 1-0 changeup, and it's all about location. Boy, did he stay back on that one nicely. Generally speaking, a guy will be out in front a little bit. He stayed back on that elevated changeup nicely.
Brings up J.R. Tolles. He is struck out, safe on an error. Bartlett booting his ball in the 3rd.
I don't know whether Tim slowed down his arm action on that one, or there are a number of reasons. Maybe a guy's looking for it. I don't know. Looking for a 1-0 changeup. Who knows? Anyway, definitely did not get fooled on that pitch.
2-1 to the catcher with pitcher Bud Norris next. That's going to be tough. All you can do is pick it up and flip it to the pitcher as Tolles with a swinging bunt single.
Man, when it rains, it pours, huh? My goodness.
You make a good pitch and just dribbles one. You couldn't go on out there and just placed it any better. Ernesto Frieri starts to throw in the bullpen. Stauffer now at 97 pitches. Doug Black was hoping they could get out of this inning and get his 5 innings of work done. See if Norris is swinging or bunting. He's on a square. Take ball 1. Norris was safe back in that 3rd inning. He hit a double play ball, remember, to Jason Bartlett, but Logan Forsythe airmailed the relay, and that brought in 2 more runs. Stauffer, he had a chance at second base.
Yes, he did.
But he elects to go for the easy out at first. Sacrifice is successful, and Tolles moves into scoring position. Bourne, infield hit to start the game, struck out and hit by a pitch. Hit right off the shoe tips in that go round of the 3rd inning. He's a typical leadoff man. Good speed, makes contact, steals you a base. Good average. And he has 19 RBIs, and that's nothing to just toss aside. When you look at the Padres, you've got Ludwig with 36 RBIs. Next in the lineup is 19, Headley. Two and one.
Yeah, the bottom of the lineup getting on for Bourne, and the contact guy that he is, and with his speed, yeah, it's like the other situation we said earlier with runners at second and third, the possibility of an infield single with less than 2 outs. He gets an RBI there because of his speed. And the bottom of the lineup getting on base.
3-1 with Barmes due next. He'll slap you a base hit. 3-2. Two outs here in the 5th inning. A home run by Johnson has boosted the Astros lead to 7-2. Left field, Ludwig playing just right. To the line to make the catch. That's it for Houston in the 5th, but they get another run on 2 hits and leave one. Halfway mark in this one, 4.5 in the book. Houston 7, San Diego 2.
back with the Channel 4 home run inning presented by Harrah's Rincon Casino. If a grand slam is hit this inning, you could earn huge cash. Huge cash, I said. Enter at 4SD.com. The jackpot is up to $24,000.
That would make it a mighty interesting game if someone could
Absolutely.
produce a grand slammer here and pay off that amount of money.
I thought I'd take you a little bit back in time also, dropping a
Foster Brooks. I've got a good story about Foster Brooks. Aaron Cunningham leads off the 5th inning. He'll bat for Stauffer. Tim did get a base hit that inspired a 2-run 3rd inning. Cunningham won at bat in Atlanta, and on a 3-2 pitch that our pitch track showed was clearly outside, he was called out on strikes. So this young guy that was up with the big club last year and produced some good hits was slugging .474 down at Tucson. .292 average, 16 doubles, 5 homers. Among the leaders in the PCL with 42 RBIs. Outside, 1-2. Cunningham the pinch hitter, then Patterson and Bartlett. Bottom of the 5th inning. Bud Norris working on a 7-2 lead. Another high fly ball. There have been not just fly balls, a lot of high fly balls. And Bourne waits for it in center field. In fact, in looking through the scorebook, fly balls and strikeouts, there's been only 1 ground ball out.
Well, I think that is because we talked about it earlier. Bud Norris has got the straight fastball, right? And it rides up to about 94, 95. And it's tough to get that barrel of the bat on top of that baseball, therefore working underneath it, and hence the fly balls.
Eric Patterson, he flied out to center the last time, and he hits this one deep to center field. Bourne going back and makes the play at the warning pad, the long out. 2 away to Jason Bartlett. Robbed of a hit on his little Texas League attempt in the 1st inning that Hunter Pence was able to slide and catch. And he walked and scored in the 3rd. Padres 2 runs in that 3rd inning came on a 1-out single by Stauffer. With 2 outs, Bartlett walked, then RBI base hits from Headley and Ludwig to get the 2 runs in. So for Stauffer, 5 innings, 7 runs, 4 earned, 8 hits, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. One and one, slider in there. .94. He's so consistent with that fastball.
I think a great pitch for Bud Norris would be that changeup. We've seen it a couple times tonight. But he's got good arm action. It seems like the same arm slot, same arm speed every pitch.
Struck him out. That's his 5th strikeout. And the Padres go in order in the 5th inning. On to the 6th here at Petco Park, with the Astros leading 7-2. Or if you buy your tickets online at Padres.com. This offer won't be around forever, so don't wait. Get your tickets. Save at Padres.com. Go through the schedule, see the games you want to see, and save $5 on every ticket. Priced at $13.50 or more. Ernesto Frieri comes in for the Padres. Stauffer's night is through. Inherits a 7-2 deficit. Frieri 1-2 on the year, as you can see, a 2.00 ERA and just a 2.12 batting average against. 27 innings, 21 hits, and 33 strikeouts. Hunter Pence. Check that. Barmes. It's Barmes and then Pence. And Carlos Lee to bat for Houston here in the top of the 6th inning. 1 for 3 for Barmes. Fouls it back. He singled as part of that 3rd inning and scored a run. Grounded out to 2nd, to 3rd, and to short. The other 2 at bats. Off the corner. 2-1.
Well, Ernesto will find out that he won't get that call, and I'm sure they're keeping tabs out in that bullpen. And you know what? Scouting reports not only on players but on umpires as well before each series. They know the strike zones of these umpires.
2-2. Life on that 92-mile-an-hour fastball. Full count. That ball whistled to left field. Ludwig racing back and makes the catch, going away. A laser to left center, and Ludwig with a perfect jump and intercepted it on the run.
Well, you know, with the way that Clint Barmes hit that baseball, I'm sure he's going back to the dugout saying, you know what, Toto, we're not in Kansas anymore. This isn't Minute Maid Park. I guarantee you at Minute Maid, that's rattling around where the Padre bullpen is, and it's extra bases. Not tonight, big boy. That ball, it hangs up there just enough, and it's got that little force field a little bit. Just enough for Ludwig to make the nice grab.
Here's Pence, 1 for 3. One and one the count.
Even though Houston's in Texas, I wasn't saying that Houston's in Kansas. I was just using the movie line.
I understand. There's probably a Houston in Kansas. You know, I bet you if you look, some little town in Kansas named Houston.
Sure. Just like Cairo, Egypt, and Cairo, Illinois.
There you go. Pence, watch out. That's a wicked foul back into the seats. Just like when you go in the eastern part of the country and you see all those British towns, only just have New in front of them.
Exactly.
New Brunswick,
right.
New Haven, New York, New Jersey. New Chicago. Just trying to get back into Illinois where you feel more comfortable.
New Lenox. There's a New Lenox, Illinois, just outside of Joliet.
Swing and a miss. A slider fools Pence. A couple of outs from Ernesto Frieri here in the 6th. A bullet out to left and a strikeout of the dangerous Pence.
Good tilt, good action on that slider from Ernesto Frieri. Oh, and perfectly placed. Out of the hand, it looks like it's going to be a fastball outside corner, and Hunter Pence goes down swinging.
Brings up Carlos Lee, an RBI double and scored, and a couple of called third strikes. And there is a Houston, Kansas.
Is there?
Population 206.
Oh, very cool.
Just off the 9 freeway. On the inside edge. Slider, and it's 1-2 to Big Carlos. Whoa, watch out.
Oh, he missed.
You don't try to field that one if you're a fan.
No. And Carlos Lee turned on a Frieri fastball, but he wanted it down and away. Ernesto missed it big time. Look at where Kyle is, and look where the ball. That ball is way up and in. That's Joe Carter-like.
Back with a 1-2.
Missed again.
That one going just by the Houston dugout where Brad Mills is at the helm. We mentioned that he's part of baseball history involving a famous Houston Astro when Nolan Ryan struck out his 3,509th man. That was the all-time record. He passed Walter Johnson at the time. Mills was the man who struck out. So he's got a piece of that record.
Sure.
That ball softly into center, and T. Cody can't get it. Nice try, and he holds Lee to a single. Good effort by the youngster in center, but that ball was dying, and Lee has another base hit.
Once again, it didn't have that clean, crisp sound off the bat, and it looks like it hits the. It definitely hits leather first, so he had a chance to really glove that one. A great effort by Blake.
Just off the heel of the glove. Couldn't quite get it under there. Well, we know a lot of you fans have turned over to watch how the Padres are doing tonight. Houston leading 7-2. Those of you who have been watching the NBA game 2. Miami had a significant lead in the fourth quarter, but Dallas rallied 95-93. Fly ball. Patterson started back, then comes in to make the catch. And the inning is over. No runs, a hit, a man left for Houston, and in the top of the sixth, Padres come up needing 5 to tie.
spend it at a Padres suite. It's a great way to enjoy a game with your family, your friends. Hey, bring a group out from work. Suites can be customized to fit your group's needs. They include multiple seating options. You got great grub, good food, social sparklers, great beverage packages, and much, much more. Visit Padres.com/suites for all the details. Padres Suites. There comes some kind of suite.
Chase Headley leads off, bottom of the 6th. He goes around strike one. He has a walk and a single tonight. The base hit extending his game hitting streak to 12 in a row. Hunter Pence also with a base hit tonight, so his streak has reached 14 straight games. Bud Norris about to go into the windup and then checked himself, backs off. 84 pitches as he enters the 6th inning. Oh, 0-2. Now the Padres knew they were facing a tough customer tonight. Well, it doesn't look that tough, this one. And Bud Norris, having faced him twice before and not able to touch him up for a run in 13 innings. Got a couple tonight. A ball, 2 strikes to Headley. Struck him out. That's number 6 for Bud Norris. So he's right on target. He's a strikeout per inning pitcher, and that's how he's going tonight. Well, let's check our leaderboard. Brought to you by Los Primos, home of the Monster Burrito. Get your $5 meal deal. Limited time only. Well, the most hits allowed this season in the National League, the Houston Astros, 523, with the Cubs and Cardinals, Mets and Reds, also generous. But belying that statistic is the man on the mound, Bud Norris, allowing just 3 hits, all in the 3rd inning. Singles by Stauffer, Headley, and Ludwig to produce the 2 runs. Ludwig sends a high fly toward Pence and right, eases toward the line, and another fly ball out. Again, 2 outs into the 6th inning. Norris has thrown only one ground ball out.
Cannot seem to get the barrel of the bat squared up on that fastball from Norris. If it's a breaking ball, they're out in front of it, popping it up. Or that good giddy up fastball, belt, or it reminds me of a pitcher. And once again, I'm not comparing pitchers, but pitches. Remember, Jim Palmer was the guy who pitched up in the zone and got a lot of fly balls.
Brad Hopp, first ball club back, foul out of play.
And you know what? Bud Norris might be coming into this game. I can't speak for Mr. Bud Norris, but the environs here at Petco Park saying, hey, I'm going to utilize my 4-seam fastball at 94, 95 and elevate it a little bit, or just go after him and see what happens. The ball doesn't travel here.
And Hopp goes around on a slider. His slider and his fastball has been timed from the opening pitch exactly. 94 on the fastball, 87 on the slider. And he's been consistent throughout the 6 innings. Ahead on the count, 2 strikes. That one skips in, almost got Hopp, who just did hop to elude being struck.
And a lot of pitchers would like to maybe try to change speeds on that fastball. And you would think from a hitter standpoint, if it's consistent 94, 94, 94, you'd have a chance to catch up to it, but not the case tonight.
Changeup. He's not thrown many of those.
I think that's a look-see pitch. I think you can pretty much bank. In fact, I'm going to make a $1 bet right here. He's going to throw a fastball right here after the changeup. Soften it up, Brad Hopp a little bit. Setting it up for the old number 1. And as I said, slider.
Houston, Kansas.
That's right.
Two balls, 2 strikes on Hopp with 2 outs, bases empty here in the 6th inning. Bud Norris take to the early lead 6-0 and pitching comfortably. Foul back.
There's the heater.
So tomorrow night, fans, along with a party at the park where 20 downtown restaurants and breweries and bars will offer food and drink. First pour 4:30. It's 4 tastings for $10. And we want to remind you also that Saturday night we're going to honor one of our champions here in San Diego, the UCSD softball team. Broken bat, fly ball, shortstop can't get there. Over the head of Barmas, and broken bat single for Brad Hopp. Only the 4th hit tonight. So Saturday, the Tritons, the NCAA Division II softball champions, are going to be honored here at Petco, and they'll throw out the first pitch, and well, you UCSD fans come out and cheer your own.
Congratulations. Sounds like a good weekend at the ball yard.
Well, not only honoring the champs, but the gnome night. You know, they'll all get gnomes.
Nice.
I mean, that trophy is a nice thing, that NCAA trophy. I'm not belittling that, but to get, you know, come here and be honored and get a gnome too, how perfect a Saturday night is that?
Life is good.
Oh my, hubba hubba. Blake T. Cody has struck out and flied out tonight. Just off the inside corner. 2-0.
Okay, 3rd time around for these Padre hitters, and Bud Norris has done a number on the bottom half of the lineup. Tim Stauffer singled, but he's made short work of these guys. Let's see if Blake can turn something around here.
Fouls it out of play. And that fastball not quite 94. Still late. And the next pitch will be his 99th of the night. Kyle Phillips waits on deck. 7-2. Houston leads it. A run in the second. 5 runs in the third. Only 2 of those earned. That's a strike. 2-2. In that inning, singles by Barmas and Hunter Pence, RBI double Carlos Lee, and then the roof caved in. 3 errors committed by the Padres, and when the dust cleared, 5 runs, only 2 earned, and a 6-0 lead. Ground ball, foul. And then after the Padres got their 2 on 3 singles in the third, Stauffer, and then a walk to Bartlett, RBI singles by Hetley and Ludwig for their 2 runs. Third baseman Chris Johnson clubbed a 380-foot home run, a solo shot in the 5th inning, and that's where we stand. 7-2. 100 pitches now from this 26-year-old right-hander from Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. Another high fly ball, foul territory. The catcher, Tolles, gives way to Johnson, the third baseman, and the inning is over. Well, he's got the Padres hitting high fly balls, infield and outfield all night long. Through 6, it's 7-2 Houston. Permadontics, Southern California's premier dental implant center. By Goldman Sachs, for all the reasons you invest. Mutual funds from Goldman Sachs. And by Hughes Marino, because where you do business matters. With Mark Grant, Dick Henberg, pleased you've joined us here on the first of our 11-game homestand this Thursday night. Astros and Padres, first of a 4-game weekend series. Hope you'll make plans to be with us on the weekend. Ernesto Frieri, way outside his first pitch to Brett Wallace. Houston first baseman has walked, grounded out, knocked in a run with that ground ball in the third, and flied to deep left. That ball by first base coach Bobby Meacham, San Diego State, teammate of Tony Gwynn and Bud Black with the Aztecs. There's Bobby.
Number 1 pick back in 1981 by the Redbirds, St. Louis Cardinals, and then traded to the Yankees.
2 balls and a strike. Wallace, Johnson, and the catcher Tolles scheduled here in the 7th. In there as Frieri tries to hold the line and hope that the Padres can score to form. 7th, 8th, and 9th innings have been their most productive on the season.
Kind of like Corey Lupke coming out of the bullpen, doing a good job holding the opposition. He's done that quite well.
There's that pitch upstairs, at least ruled high.
I remember that one year in spring training, I believe it was 1988 or 89. They said, okay, we're going to start calling the high strike. And they do it for like the first 2 months, and then
fly ball left center field, a long run for T. Cody, and he can't get there. It's off the base of the wall, and on to second base with a double goes Brett Wallace. He's got opposite field power. First hit off Frieri.
Boy, that guy's got a good head on his shoulders. Anyway, that ball was hit so high, I didn't think that it was going to travel as well as it did.
I didn't either.
I mean, watch the trajectory of the ball. It's a breaking ball. Well, that ball hit. Guy loses his beer. Head. Well, that ball, what, halfway up the fence it bounced? I didn't think it was going to go that far.
So a leadoff double by Brett Wallace. Chris Johnson homered his last time. He scored a couple of runs tonight. He's 2 for 2 with a walk as well. Downstairs, attendance tonight 16,635. Seven runs, 10 hits for the Astros. 2 runs, 4 hits, 3 errors for the Padres. Ground ball to short. That'll chase the runner back to second as Bartlett throws out Johnson. Wallace stays at second, and J.R. Tolles, the catcher, comes up.
That's a good job of Ernesto Frieri keeping the ball in front of the runner. What do I mean by that? Well, with the runner on second base, less than 2 outs, a grounder to the left side, yeah, the runner has to freeze and stay there. It's a running fastball in. He missed with location, but it works to the advantage of the Padres and Ernesto Frieri.
Brings up Tolles. Struck out. Safe on an error by Bartlett on a soft ground ball. And then he hit another swinging bunt up the third baseline that was so perfectly placed. Headley didn't even have a throw. So an infield hit in 3 trips for Tolles. And an RBI. That's a good looking fastball at 93. 0-2 the count. With the pitcher, Norris, on deck. Reaches out and punches that one foul down by the bullpen, out of play. So tomorrow night, 6:30 our broadcast time here on Channel 4 San Diego for the Honda Dealers pregame show. Dustin Mosley 1-6 against Jay Happ 3-6, left-hander for the Astros. Party at the Park Friday night.
He wants a fastball up.
Oh, man, that almost took the whiskers off him. And it did hit him. It did hit him. No?
I thought it was a foul tip off the bat.
One umpire signaling safe as if the ball didn't hit him, and then the plate umpire indicating it did strike him, and Bud Black is trying to sort this out. Did it hit the top of his shoulder? Maybe just clipped his uniform?
May have.
I mean, Friere is not trying to hit
right
198 batting average and put him on base, but it is a hit batsman the second tonight. Starter Stauffer hit Michael Byrne on the toe in the third inning. But boy, that had to be a little scary for Tolles. That one was about to eat him up. So 2 on, 1 out, and that allows Norris to bunt right back to the mound, throw to third, and they get the force. Norris safe on the fielder's choice as the lead runner, Wallace, erased. 1-5.
But Bud Norris has shown that he can handle the bat very well when it comes to a sacrifice, and this one hit hard enough to where the force play, just play a little catch with Chase Headley. Not a tag play, a force play. Just get it there. Nicely done. They get the lead runner.
Friere had made up his mind as soon as he got to that ball. He was going to third. So safe as the pitcher at first with Tolles to second. Leadoff man Michael Bourne, the batter. Ball 1. Infield hit. Struck out. Hit by a pitch and fly to left. Outside. 2-0. The Astros have had base traffic in every inning. Total of 10 hits. Couple of walks, couple of hit batsmen. Curveball way inside. 3-0. Way outside. Boy, he was all over the place in that sequence. A 4-pitch walk to Bourne, and the bases are loaded again for the Astros. It's the first walk by Friere. That pushes Tolles over to third. The pitcher Norris to second. Bourne at first, and Clint Barmas 1 for 4. A couple of lineouts to left field, and the last time, remember, Ludwig on the dead run making the catch going away at the auxiliary scoreboard out there. He takes a big rip at that one. 94 on the fastball from Friere. Bases full, 2 out. 1-1. Well, on Sunday, it'd be an interesting matchup on Sunday, Mark Grant. And again, that game has been moved from 105 to 335 because of the Rock and Roll Marathon here in San Diego. So your tickets will say 105, but 335. Back through the middle. Can Bartlett get it? He flips it to Forsythe in time for the out. And Bourne, lucky he didn't hurt himself. He didn't slide. He thought the throw was going to go over to first base. So the inning is over. No more damage. A double and a hit batsman. Bases loaded. and Mossy Toyota. Visit us in Pacific Beach or online at mossy.com. Stretch half of the 7th. 16,635 at Petco tonight. Bud Norris with a 7-2 advantage will face Phillips, Forsythe, and the pitcher spot. He's already over the 100 pitch mark as he seeks his 3rd win of the year. And 2 of the 3 wins would be against the Padres.
And the one thing I've noticed tonight about Bud Norris is what? Challenging these hitters with the fastball. Yeah, he's throwing his breaking stuff. But majority of the pitches tonight, fastballs. Here it is. See how far you can hit it. See what kind of damage you can do.
Kyle Phillips, left-handed hitting catcher, will start it. He's grounded to second and fly to center. Phillips is the only Padre to hit a ground ball tonight. Either strikeouts or flyouts or pop-ups off this right-hander. Ball 1. Now that 94-mile-an-hour fastball that he carried into the 6th inning, it looks like he's losing a little velocity. And he punches it up a couple miles an hour to 93.
That fastball there, it looked like it had a little tail on it.
Yeah.
Maybe as the velocity drops, creates a little bit more movement. Yeah, you're right, Dick. That fastball doesn't have the same type of giddy up and sharpness as it had earlier in the ball game.
2 balls and a strike. Good cut by Phillips. Broad-shouldered Bud Norris. It's one of those guys, he's not tall, but he's big. 6 feet tall, but 228 pounds. And he defines a power pitcher.
Big ham hocks. Mentioned that earlier as well. The midsection. Big old thighs. Utilizing that body as a shock absorber. It's not all just arm.
Goes to a running fastball. That had a lot of movement as well. Came in on Phillips, and the count goes full.
And 7-2, Norris, you would think in this count, challenge him with a fastball, right?
Absolutely. And it's fouled away. 93.
Well, Kyle hit that one off the end and kind of jammed him. So, I mean, you know, off the end of the bat or down near the label, you know, sometimes it'll ring that thumb of yours. I don't know. Now Todd Hutchison out to have a chat.
Yeah, sometimes, and we saw it happen to Anthony Gwynn last year. You even break that hamate bone on a swing when the ball hits the bat awkwardly. And
well, it was a fastball away, and you can see how he reaches for it at the end there.
Yeah.
He reaches for it, and then he grimaces, ow, and starts to favor, I'm guessing, the left wrist.
Yeah, it looked like that top hand, the wrist turned awkwardly. And take a couple of practice swings. Bud Black saying to Todd Hutchinson, hey, do you think he should come out?
Well, another thing, you know, he's taken a couple practice swings, but still, that's not the same intensity as if you're in the box and you're swinging at a pitch that's live.
It's not the top hand, it's the right hand that he was flexing.
Now, if you're Bud Norris, what do? You go fastball away here, right? Tailing fastball away.
3-2 the count. Ground ball by the first base bag. That's a fair ball into the corner. Phillips, with Pence digging it out, will make it to second and hold right there. Well, he gets right back in the batter's box, sore hand and all, and rips a sharp ground ball into the right field corner. Continue to be impressed by the way he swings the bat.
And I'm surprised that Norris wanted to come on the inside part of the plate. He spins on that one nicely, just inside the bag.
Just the 5th hit of the night and the first extra base hit for the Padres. See if that gets a little rally kicked off. Logan Forsythe has flied out and struck out. Chris Denorfia has a bat in the on deck circle. Strike one.
Well, the velocity dropping a little bit from Bud Norris. So what does he do? He counters with a first pitch slider with that runner in scoring position.
Phillips on at second with the leadoff double. 1-1. Another slider. Denorfia has been very successful as a pinch hitter. Apparently next, and then the top of the order. Norris now at 110 pitches. Bullpen now goes to work down the right field side. Ground ball, that's fair, off the glove of third baseman Johnson. Phillips will hold at third. Sounded as if that was a broken bat, but perfect direction as both Phillips and Forsythe run their ground balls right up the foul line. One over first and one over third.
Looked like another breaking ball. So Bud Norris going to the breaking ball because he's losing velocity on that fastball. Padres got something going here with nobody out. Jeff Fulcino, the right-hander, warming up in the bullpen. And at 111 pitches, it looks like that might be it for Bud Norris.
Chris Johnson with that dive got enough glove on it to save a run. That ball would have gone down into the corner for at least a two-base hit. But what a job by this 26-year-old Bud Norris. Solid again against the Padres. Pitching change being made. No one out here in the 7th inning. Padres at the corners trailing 7-2. Brought to you by Lolita's at the Park, where you can enjoy quality, fresh Mexican food and a wonderful evening. Happy hour 7 days a week. A lot of fans come out to Petco and have a libation and some nice Mexican food at Lolita's at the Park. Fulcino, there are his numbers on the season. 1-3 his record. 4.24 ERA. And a 247 batting average allowed. Runner goes from first. The throw is going to not be in time. As stolen base, Logan Forsythe. That's a very clever move. Down 7-2. The first pitch from Fulchino. He doesn't expect him to be stealing.
Absolutely. You stay out of the double play. J.R. Tolles doesn't have the best percentage throwing out there. Only 15% this year. 4 for 26. Make it 4 for 27. And it's good to be king. A king stolen base for Logan Forsythe.
His first major league steal. And the count goes 2-0 on the pinch hitter Denorfia. Padres have a chance to do some business here in the seventh. Down 7-2. Three and 0. Denorfia is 6 for 18 as a pinch hitter. So he is produced in that very difficult role coming off the bench late. Lays the fastball in at 93. Fulchino, 31 years of age, acquired off waivers from Kansas City 3 years ago. Pitched in college at the University of Connecticut. Fly ball right field. Pence toward the line. Makes the catch. Runners tag. Run comes in. Phillips and Forsythe to third. It's 7-3. Denorfia drives in a run with a sacrifice fly, and to the top of the order, Patterson can get one in. On and out. Patterson is 0 for 3. Struck out, fly to center, and line deep to center. Denorfia with his 8th RBI of the year, 2 of them coming as a pinch hitter. Outside ball 1 to Patterson. 7 RBIs on the season. Forsythe 90 feet away. 1 out. There's that tight call again from Jerry Davis on that corner of the plate.
Fulchino's a 3-pitch pitcher. Fastball, slider, split. He's been pretty consistent with his zone tonight. Maybe a couple times he's giving guys off the plate just a little bit.
Fly ball left center field. That's hit well. Long run for Bourne. He's going to get there. He's got the speed. Tagging Forsythe. He'll come in on another sacrifice fly, and that makes it 7-4. So another long out off the bat of Patterson as he drives in his 8th run of the season.
Both hitters, Denorfia and Patterson, getting something elevated in the zone and not doing too much. Realizing how many outs there are. Oh, watch yourself there, Eric. You're slipping on the steps there.
Patterson thought he was going to get more than a sacrifice fly out of that swing. Let the ball hung up in left center. So the leadoff hits by Phillips and Forsythe pay off. Cut the lead to 3 here in the 7th inning. Jason Bartlett scored in the 3rd after he walked. He's 0 for 2. Robbed of a hit by Pence in right field. Those 2 runs will be charged to Norris. So with all the good work done, his score line doesn't reflect how well he pitched. 6+ innings, allowing 4 runs, all earned, 5 hits. But still in the lead with a chance to win his 3rd. 7-4. To right field. Pence is there. And the inning is over. 3 more fly ball outs. So Fulchino just following the lead of Bud Norris. Padres hitting it in the air tonight. 7-4 as we go to the 8th. Marth and Bob Scanlon standing by in our Channel 4 studios. Sequan Casino, get away for the day at Sequan Casino. Pat Neshek, third pitcher used by Bud Black tonight. Friori went 2 innings, allowed 2 hits, hit 1, walked 1, struck out 1. And now Neshek into the game here in the top of the 8th inning. Hunter Pence, Carlos Lee, and Jeff Keppinger to bat for Houston. Their lead reduced to 3. The difference in the game, 3 unearned runs scored back in the 3rd inning when the Padres committed 3 errors. Pence is 1 for 4 tonight, scored a run. One of the 5 runs scored in the 3rd. Takes a strike. That inning started. Barnes singled. Pence singled. Lee ground rule double for the first run. Runners at 2nd and 3rd. Catcher's error, interference, loaded the bases. Swing and a miss. 1 and 2. Second run scored on a ground out by Wallace. Another intentional walk loaded the bases. Error by Bartlett, a run came in. Another error by Forsythe, throwing error, and 2 more scored. Struck him out. So of the 5, 3 of them were unearned. And that's the difference, 7-4.
Well, Neshek making short work of Pence, and you see Hunter Pence there as he's talking to Carlos Lee, giving a little scouting report on how he threw to him. Just good old fastballs right there. Might have been a deception, but wow, different kind of hack from Pence.
Lee a single double, and 2 times he struck out. Starts him with a slider. .86 on the fastball. Wilton Lopez, a right-hander, throwing now in the bullpen for Houston.
I was just thinking of something on my tombstone. You know what I'm going to say? Oh, down the middle doesn't count.
Outside with a slider, 3-1.
So when people walk by, they look at that tombstone. Oh, must have been a pitcher.
Way outside. So Lee with a 1-out walk here in the 8th. Brings up Jeff Keppinger. 1 for 4 tonight. Singled and scored in the 2nd. That was the first run for the Astros. He singled. Brett Wallace walked, and Chris Johnson's single brought in the run. Seven runs, 10 hits, no errors, 10 left for the Astros. The Padres 4 runs, 6 hits, 3 errors, and 4 stranded. The only inning in which Houston did not have a base runner was the 4th. Tim Stauffer, the starter, retired the side in order in the 4th. We started to say on Sunday, folks, if you're making your plans, a 3:30 game, not a 1 o'clock game. Matt Latos will be the starter for the Padres, and we're going to see the youngest player in the major leagues on Sunday. Right-hander Jordan Lyles. He's just 20 years old. He'll be going for the Astros. He debuted this week and went 7 shutout innings. They were really impressed. A highly regarded young talent, 20 years old, in the big league uniform. Darren Bolsley out to talk with Neshek. 2-0 the count.
Yeah, that kid Lyles you're talking about, a strikeout pitcher too. His minor league numbers reflect at least a strikeout per inning pitched.
That'll be a really nice matchup. Latos has won his last 2 starts.
Yep.
Against young Lyles. Get to see him. Just the birth of his major league career. 2-1. Padres have not turned a double play tonight. They lead the National League. That won't be one. High fly, shallow left. Ludwig. 2 away. And Brett Wallace, first baseman, walked, RBI ground out, long out to left, and a double. Just missed a home run to left center field in the 7th inning. Just 24 years of age. Young Wallace taking over first base when Lance Berkman left.
Well, big shoes to fill and a lot of pressure there, huh? On a kid playing that position.
He's the #1 draft pick. Ripped into right field by the dive of Forsythe. Patterson will get it in. 2 on now with 2 out in the Astro 8th inning. Wallace a couple of hits, so he joins Lee and the man coming up, Chris Johnson, with a pair of base hits tonight, and a total of 11. Johnson singled in a run to right center field in the 2nd. Intentionally walked, scored in the 3rd. Homered 380 feet left field seats in the 5th inning and grounded to short his last time. Got a big swing. Slider fooled him.
Got to give him right field here. 2 outs. Don't leave anything middle in. Take the fly ball to right center field, right field.
Neshek ahead on the count, 2 strikes. 26-year-old product of Stetson University.
The Hatters.
Your favorite.
Probably one of the better nicknames in all of sports.
Stetson Hatters, Florida. Struck him out. So Neshek pitches out of trouble. No runs a hit. 2 more left by the Astros. They've stranded a dozen tonight. Coming up, Headley, Ludwig, and Hop for the Padres. Lopez, his numbers. 1-2, but a good ERA of 2.86, 22 innings, has allowed 22 hits, 18 strikeouts, and 12 walks. So he'll get a little wild at times.
Absolutely. He's their 7th, 8th inning setup guy. Fastball, slider, change. Low 90s.
Jason Michaels in the double switch goes in to play left field, and he will bat 9th. Put the pitcher in Carlos Lee's spot, cleanup. Headley 1 for 2, a walk and a single tonight. Then Ludwig and Hop, the power portion of the lineup for San Diego, with Ludwig and Hop. That went out of play. Here we are on June 2nd, and Headley still with only 1 home run.
Well, you know, when Chase Headley was drafted, that was the book on him, and when he was in the minor leagues, getting on base. It wasn't the, you know, for as a third baseman, you'd like to see guys hit the ball out of the ballpark quite a bit, hit 20 to 30. But his forte is working the count and getting on base with a walk, extra base power every now and then.
Had 11 home runs last year, 12 the year before. Trying to get something started here in the bottom of the 8th inning. The Padres trailing 7-4. Lopez with a big animated delivery.
I love that delivery. Love the big leg kick, getting the most out of your body. Momentum going towards home plate.
Struck him out. Slider. Bottom fell out of that pitch. Ludwig has fly twice to right and singled in a run. Outside. So the Astros open this long homestand, 4 on the weekend, then 3 with Colorado Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Washington in for 4. Strike.
Ooh.
Did that get catcher Tolles in the mask on the follow through?
Yes, it did. I heard that one all the way up here. On the, oh. Thank goodness those catchers wear those hockey style masks, or in the case of Jared Tolles, the helmet. Oh. That might not look like it, you know, a big deal, but believe me, that just, it looked like he got more mask than helmet, but still, that'll rattle your cage there.
Kyle Phillips, same thing happened to him on the road trip. That ball hit high and deep to center field. Bourne going back, warning track, and look at it die out there. Boy, Ludwig just crushed that ball for a long out. And you can understand how the Padres can't help but mutter when they go back to the dugout. You can't hit a ball much harder than that one for an out.
Looks like Ryan got a good swing on it. Now, whether he hit it on the sweet spot or not remains to be seen, but maybe, you know, and that's all it takes. Just a little bit towards the end of the bat could have been the difference in that one. That's frustrating.
2 out. Brad Hopp, a single in 3 trips. Out in front of a changeup. Up the middle, knocked down by Lopez. Throws a low sinker for the out. So a couple of hard outs by the Padres as Lopez retires the side in order. On to the ninth inning, 7-4 Astros. Padre bullpen. Fourth pitcher used tonight. Stauffer started, went 5 innings, allowed 7 runs, 4 earned. Frieri, 2 innings of shutout ball, couple of hits. Neshek, 1 inning, allowed a hit and a walk. And now Qualls, who has done some yeoman work this year. The only pitcher with more wins than Qualls is Aaron Harang with 5. Qualls is 3-2 with a 2.15 ERA, 2.21 batting average against. J.R. Tolles, the pitcher spot, occupied by Jason Michaels on the double switch. Then the leadoff hitter, Michael Bourne. Yeah, the obvious book on Tolles is to pitch him fastballs inside. That's all he's seen, unless it was a slider wasted away. Of course, the last time hit by a pitch up around the shoulder by Frieri. Another inside fastball. Misses, 1-1. Grounded to third. Backhand Headley. Across the diamond, 1 away. Jason Michaels, his first at bat. Hitting a slender 154. Just 39 at bats on the year, only 6 hits. 1 home run. Strike with that slider.
When Chad Qualls is on his game, we know that it's very tough to hit him because that baseball is darting down and into the righties with the sinker and down and away to the righties with the slider.
There's the slider. 0-2.
And it's such tight rotation that it's really hard to distinguish which is which.
Now, the 2 pitching acquisitions by Jed Hoyer, this man Qualls and Aaron Harang, really been plus moves. Really strengthened an already outstanding pitching core. And the Padres, as you all well know, have been leading the major leagues, their bullpen ERA all season long. Currently at 2.39, with Atlanta second, 2.56. Another foul.
Heavy dose of sliders to Michaels. Have not seen the sinker yet.
See what they're going to remake the Jackie Robinson story.
Really?
Of course, Jackie played the role himself in the original version. They still have not cast the lead.
You know who I think would be great for that?
Inside who?
My guess, who I'd like, one of my favorite actors of all time, Denzel Washington.
Yeah, well, I thought of him too. Now I don't whether or not, and he's athletic, so
I love that.
They
guy.
have cast Branch Rickey, and you're going to like who's going to play Branch Rickey. Robert Redford.
Oh, really? Interesting.
1-2 the count on Michaels. And he pulls that one foul down the left field line. And Qualls got away with a hanging slider. It might be the kind of role where you get a young actor that people aren't really familiar with, so you don't identify that actor with all the other roles. But
sure.
That would be Jackie Robinson.
That makes sense.
I look forward to that. 1-2. Got to get a little extra on that fastball, and did.
You know, the key to those movies, when they do those types of movies, get actors who are athletic, have athletic ability. I mean, nothing worse than when fear strikes out and Anthony
Perkins,
he threw like a girl.
Well, he was because he's left-handed.
Right.
So he was throwing right-handed. I know Pearsall was crazy, but inside 2-2. Jimmy Pearsall. He could play center field. Not a bad hitter. Finished part of his career with the Angels. Never got a chance to see him run the bases backwards, go third, second, first, and home, but he did. Struck him out, gets away. Phillips will have to record the out at first base. How many times has that happened in the last couple of weeks? A lot of 2-3 putouts on strikeouts so far. Padre catchers have managed to get the out.
My favorite Jimmy Pearsall story, I was with the Cubs in spring training one year in '95. He was a minor league outfield instructor, and I had an outing in spring training where I gave up like 8 runs or something, right? Coaches, guys are going to be subtle. Hey, tough day yesterday. How was your day? He comes up to me next day. Well, you sure gave it up yesterday, didn't you? Hey, thanks, Jimmy. Appreciate it.
Michael Bourne slaps one to Bartlett. He knows he has to hurry and does to get the fleet-footed center fielder. As Qualls works a 1-2-3 ninth inning. Padres are coming up. Last call. They need 3 to tie. T. Cody will lead it off.
Time for the hit of the game, brought to you by El Cajon Ford. Worth a short drive from anywhere in the county, or shop online at elcajonford.com. It was in the 5th inning with 1 out. Chris Johnson connects for his 6th home run of the year, RBI number 26. And that's our hit of the game.
1 of 2 hits for Johnson as he drove in a couple. A 7-4 lead as Mark Melanson, their closer, comes in. He earned that role when we saw Houston in Texas earlier in the year. He was just being developed as their 9th inning specialist, and has delivered a 4-1 record. Memory serves me, that loss might have been against the Padres. 1.98 ERA. Houston, and it doesn't all fall on this man's shoulders, but they lead the major leagues in blown saves. 13 times they've been unable to hold the lead. But the Padres need 3 to get even here in the 9th. The rookie T. Cody leads it off. Upstairs, ball 1.
There was Brandon Lyon on the DL, right biceps tendonitis, partial tear of the rotator cuff. That is not good. So Melanson taking over. Fastball, curve, cutter, change. Low 90s on the fastball.
Former Yankee. The Yankees took him in the draft 5 years ago in the 9th round. Houston acquired him in a minor trade. Well, I guess not so minor. Lance Berkman went to New York. So he was high quality. They were looking for a top reliever, and they got him.
Well, for Melanson, his velocity has kind of gone down the last few years. He has a little bit of experience closing in the minor leagues. Not a lot. He has closed some games when he was in the minors.
And he loses the leadoff man, T. Cody, on 4 pitches. There's one other issue, and Brad Mills, the manager, talked about it before the game tonight. He wasn't sure he wanted to use Melanson. He has appeared in the last 4 games. So kind of stretching his energy bank.
Exactly. And when that happens, maybe he doesn't feel he has his best stuff, or maybe the wing is a little tired. So pitchers will have a tendency to nitpick a little bit, fall behind, and then havoc ensues.
Somewhat surprising that he would bring him in with a 3-run lead here. Lopez looked pretty sharp the last inning. That's a strike to Kyle Phillips. Phillips grounded to second, fly to center, and doubled over the bag at first base into the right field corner. And then Forsythe followed with a base hit over the bag at third. Those 2 men came around to score on sacrifice flies by DeNorfia and Patterson to cut the Houston lead from 7-2 to 7-4. Oh, and 2. 94 from Melanson.
And you know what? Both pitchers from both sides that have told that rubber this evening, earlier in the game, I should say, they weren't getting that last pitch for a called strike. It looked like it was off the plate just a little bit.
Foul tip into the glove of catcher Tolles. 1 away. Melanson is from beer brewing country in Colorado, Golden, Colorado. Originally drafted by the Dodgers in the 30th round, but didn't sign. Went instead to the University of Arizona, and he holds the single season and career saves record there. So he's been a relief pitcher basically all of his adult life. .62, .215. Just 26. Forsythe fly to center, struck out, and singled and scored. Jorge Cantu is on deck. Padres need another base runner to bring that tying run to the plate here in the bottom of the 9th. Pops the mid at 92, but out of the strike zone. Washington at Arizona tonight, and the Nationals are victorious. San Francisco won, so they trade places atop the National League West. The Giants are back in first. Slider in there, 1-1. Forsythe nearly the hero last night in Atlanta. Drove a ball 2 outs, man on, deep right center. Tremendous catch made by the rookie center fielder Jordan Schaefer. 4 or 5 more feet and had been off the wall. Inside, 2-1.
I talked to Logan after the game regarding that swing and that last out. He said he got it. It was just he just got underneath it just a little bit too much. If he is on top of that ball just a skosh, that possibly could have been
2-run homer.
Absolutely.
T. Cody with his lead at first. And the count levels at 2-2 on Logan Forsythe. Line drive caught by Keppinger, and he doesn't double him up, but they takes a base hit away from Forsythe, and that would have brought the tying run to the plate. Jeff Keppinger leaping just high enough to glove that line drive.
And good job by Logan trying to inside out that pitch on the inside part of the plate. Nothing you can do there, kid. Just keep on swinging. Good approach.
Well, Bud Black said in describing him before the game tonight, he plays the right way, and that's a high compliment. That says volumes.
Yep.
Logan Forsythe not intimidated and plays the game the right way. All right, here's Cantu. With 2 out, 1 on, 7-4 the score here in the 9th. Ball 1. So here's a spot where the veteran Cantu don't need the home run. That won't win the game. You need to get on base and hope something can happen after you. Eric Patterson is on deck. One and one. Cantu is a pinch hitter, 5 for 20 this year. A couple of RBIs. And the Padres are down to their final strike as that curveball got in on Cantu.
Going to make him fish for one right here. Breaking ball.
Struck him out, and the ball game is over. The Houston Astros sweep 3 at Chicago, come here to the West, and this first of a 4-game series have defeated the San Diego Padres 7-4. Their longest streak of the year, 4 in a row for the Astros. And we'll be back with the final totals here at Petco Park right after we pause for these words. Oh, those 3 errors back in the 3rd inning.